with that in mind, stand to, my warriors, and welcome back to another episode of BattleTech Advanced 3062. You join us 25 minutes into the stream because we had been attempting to wrestle another technical issue that we thought had resolved. It turns out the technical issue was the mission itself. Urando cheering 10 bits. Thank you so much. Is Neutron a robot? Not anymore.
All right.
Not anymore, EA. We managed to fix that. Oh boy. Well, that's both a relief and a great irritation. Let's have the spider jump down here just to get somebody moving forward. After all, he can. He's got all the jump jets in the world and the improved jumping quirk, which makes him wonderful. It's like a giant quarry. Oh yeah, this is the best map if you have artillery, because they'll start here and here, I believe. So by the time they make it down here, you've just annihilated them. That's what we ended up doing in BattleTech whenever we came on this map is, you know, you just get arrows and snipers and just shell the crap out of them. They can't get to you. If you have thumpers, you can also get some pretty accurate direct fire shots.
Move order.
Makes life all the more interesting. He's afraid of the camera and just never takes off his helmet. He's camera shy. That's an answer, I suppose.
Lifting off.
Bring the assassin on over. We'll brace. Oh,
That'll do
shoot.
for now.
Neutron's gonna stand still because that's what he does. If you can't get a scout on forward. Although it does look like we're gonna have to go to them, so I can't just shell them. This is the way. He's a Mandalorian, that's it. That'll be the excuse I'll run with. Our commando. Commando's actually really nice. SRM 6, large laser. I may tone that down though. For the Mandalorian then? Sure, why not? I'm kind of surprised actually. I don't think they have Mando in here as a portrait option, and it kind of seems like that would be something they do. They've been kind of nerfed unless you hit spot on, they don't deal too much damage. And it scales by how far it impacts from. You don't need damage, you need heat. You just start laying down Inferno arrows and it's done. That's the biggest problem with the late game for both these mods right now, is they haven't managed heat yet. Want some soup? Yes. So. Oh yeah, we're way off in the corner. It's a good thing we're driving light mechs. But yeah, both mods need to implement the external heat limitation, because it's a bit of a problem. I wonder if Disney would come after them if they did. Maybe. I mean, Disney is kind of in a pickle right now with all their IPs. Can they afford more negative press though?
On my way.
Probably. Maybe we'll hide it. We'll draw like a mustache. They clearly won't be able to notice that it's the Mandalorian if he's got a mustache on his helmet. Alright, so we're out of the hills, which is unfortunate because it's the best spot to be in.
Down to it.
No one's safe from the mouse, including your tweets. I'm actually kind of tempted to just keep the Kit Fox up there. Hey, enemy contact. What do we got? We have a panther. Was that a good panther or a bad panther? Where's this panther? Where's that panther? It is an 8Z, which is the bad panther with the crappy large laser instead of the PPC, and we've got some vehicle off over there. Love the current Clone Wars show at the moment. Clone Wars is great now with the final episodes, just not the second arc. Mandalorian was very enjoyable. Yeah, the Mandalorian was great. I enjoyed the Clone Wars and Rogue One, and that's about it. If I'm being completely honest, that was about it. The Killing Star Wars 2, Battlefront 2 game announcement yesterday basically said they're going to do. Yeah, I kind of figured they'd do something like that. I actually was a little bit surprised that they were still supporting it at all. Just because it has not been as good as I think they thought it was going to be. Okay, so Panther 8Z doing a little bit of a hop, firing his laser, and of course not able to connect because Greybeard is a nimble, aggressive individual who don't need no man. Speaking of Greybeard, let's go bring him in close. Why? Because he's a panther, and you want to get in close when you're fighting a panther. Normally. I mean, in this particular case, doing that is not super helpful to our cause. But nobody ever said we needed to do either of those things. I can get a better targeting solution by jumping into him. That's not what I meant. By doing this, I get a 33%. I'll take it. We saw that for a moment, but I didn't actually notice it well enough, so double tap. Of course not. Greybeard isn't flying. What is this? 3 years old for Battlefront 2? Yeah. Force Awakens was tolerable, even though it was a bad repeat. Yeah, the thing I don't like about The Force Awakens is the fact that it narrowed the universe and took away so much potential. by basically hitting the reset button. Wasn't a fan of that at all. Greybeard actually wanted to be a lamb pilot, so being someone who's jumping around in a spider actually would fit him quite nicely.
I'm on the clock.
So he has to be a lamb pilot, and I told him, no, there are no lambs at this point. Although I think that had he asked for a lamb at the very start, I might have actually given him one. Is that the crap panther with the laser? Yup. So it's a nice, easy panther to sort of beat up on. No real risk involved. Although I don't know what this is. We're going to find that out sometime soon, one would imagine. Although it seems as though there's only 2 vehicles. Oh, it's a cicada. Oh, it's a good cicada. Those are rare. He's got a PPC on board. I think he's got a PPC and 2 machine guns. No, medium lasers. Even better. I could do some interesting things for some fire support. It would basically just upgrade like the commando or something to being something a little bit more aggressive. Let's not be in a direct line behind my Jenner when I start shooting at a target who's clearly going to avoid all incoming damage. But if I had known the war would have been a lab. No, by the time most of you guys had joined, we had moved beyond that. Like, the initial cadre was rather small. It was like 8 pilots or something. And that would have been the only time. We expanded a few months into the game, but we started rather tiny. AC5, not able to connect. So you did not have that opportunity. Also, trying to maintain a lamb at that point is just damn near impossible. Because getting the parts in is almost impossible, so you've just got to beg and hope that you don't actually damage anything significantly. Otherwise, you basically have just lost the entire mech. Ooh, you hit. Nice shot. Quite lovely. Need to get more melee equipment onto that spider so we can start punching people with it. The Disney trilogy is compact and really small for the most part, since there's a 2-year gap between 2 and 3. The stupidity of the fleets in 3. The fleet at the end of 3 is just like vomit.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
Because, like, here's all of these ships. None of them are interesting. None of them will do anything interesting. They will just exist. So, ooh, Panther stood still. I'm going to zip around to the side. Probably should have punched him, but you know what? I'm going to play with the medium lasers today. Get a little bit of hits going on in there. Nice a bit of damage going down. And Neutron can continue his steady advance with his ultra autocannon. He probably has the most amount of firepower as anybody in this. Okay, I'm going to see if I can't get a shot on the unfortunate Panther pilot who decided not to move. Because I think that'll work out quite nicely for me. Everyone wants to be a lamb pilot in the game. No one wants to be a pilot in the universe. They're death traps. That's not true. They're fantastic strategic assets, sir. Oh, my ultra autocannon is in the range. Huh. Imagine that. We still managed to hit him with a laser. How didn't the new resistance fleet never run into each other? Nah, I don't mind that. My concern is that the fleet has no presence. It just exists. So it doesn't have any emotional impact. It doesn't have any weight to it. Somebody actually did a breakdown of how to do a space battle properly, and one of the things they brought out was there's no emotional resonance in that fleet. It's just vomit on the screen. It's all metal stuff, but it's not even good metal porn because we never get any good looks at it. Alright, let's cook him a little bit. Ooh, good hits. Multiple lasers. Unfortunately, we missed all the missiles, but they can get the lasers do more. There's no way that everyone would just sit on those 1,000 new SSDs and not start fighting and just waiting for someone to come wreck them in their anchorage when they don't have shields. So apparently this is what we're going to be talking about today. I don't mind. I love ragging on the new trilogy of Star Wars. It exists and then it doesn't. Yup. No, it's just a mess. Which, to be fair, it's a mess because they didn't have a plan going into it. They had 2 different directors and, well, clearly no one on staff who knew how to tell Rian Johnson, okay, you're fired. Sorry, that's cruel, but I do hate that man.
Roger that.
Which I suppose is exactly what he wants, so I've given the man what he desires. Hopefully he will enjoy sleeping on his massive bed of money. With any luck, he'll never get another project greenlit. I'm done talking about it. Never saw the last 2 movies and won't waste my money on the junk. Fallen Order got Pearl Harbored. Yes. Let's get this commando on him. Because he didn't bloody move, so he shouldn't have that much defense. Then again, my pilots kind of suck. Why would he want us to hate him? Because it's a strong emotional response. And so any strong emotional response is desirable. It's the same reason why a troll loves it if you freak out about whatever they're doing. It makes them feel important. It makes them feel like they have meaning.
Target's taking a critical
Hi, Grabboot. Welcome to the stream. You're in a spider right now. Oh, he's going down. It would have been so much better if the capital ship warfare from the fighters fighting around them and not focused on the bordering bull and the stupid idea of shooting one part to destroy the whole thing. There's so much that would improve that. All rep is good rep, right? Yeah, kind of. I mean, that is the concept. He is an artiste who has managed to get his subject to respond in the most emotionally aggressive way possible. And that makes it a success. That's my reading of the situation. Your mileage may vary. We're sort of discussing the Disney trilogy. Not with any real seriousness, because, you know, if they're not going to take it seriously, why should we? Nothing important. That's a good response to that.
I'm on the clock.
Right, bring the kit, Fox. I desire to shoot somebody in the face. I have an ultra autocannon on this light mech for a reason, and I want to use it. I could just use it on you. I mean, it's not the most ideal use.
See if I'm sober enough to line this up.
Okay, he managed to hit one. And the pilot's panicking. We can work with that.
What do you need?
Rando, do you want to finish freaking out this Jenner pilot, or this Panther pilot, and making him cry?
On the move.
I think if we panic him enough, he'll just give us the mech. I mean, literally, he will, but I'm just going to continue to perform surgery. Or you could miss most of these shots. To be fair, that worked out perfectly. That's 4 salvageable parts. I'm getting 2 of 9 on this one, but hey. Have I seen Astartes? No. Will I watch Astartes? Eventually. So I'm a bit of a... Oh, you son of a...
Oh, I'm hit. Ugh. I lost the weapon.
Son of a bitch. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. What you've just done. You've disarmed my commando. This was such a perfectly simple mission. That's what a PPC will do to you out in the open, but I wasn't quite expecting it. Okay, we managed to miss with most of our weaponry. Sorry, this is amazing, super short, no reason not to watch it. I know. I just haven't gotten around to it. I was too busy watching the Final Fantasy Remake movie. That was amazing, by the way. Can't wait until part 2. I'm gonna sit around your side, running through the sport cloud. Takes 7 minutes. Yeah, but there's like 5 parts to it. I haven't watched any of it. So I need to watch all of the parts first. I was forgetting this. Congratulations. Gunless melee time? Yeah, once we get there. Speaking of melee time, the spider's almost in melee range. I mean, he is in stomping range, but I don't plan on doing that. Probably should have, actually, now that I think about it. 80 damage would have been a lot. Almost hitting him with an AC-20. He is a cicada, after all. Neutron.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
Yeah, we need to get a new large laser for our commando. So if you would mind doing, you know, the thing where you kill all the people. You're normally pretty good at that. 4%, it's not bad. We'll go for it. Not like it affects the curves all that much. And a structure exposed. 25 minutes of my life well spent. No doubt. I'll just have to wait until I get to there. I'm not listed as a mech warrior on the roster. What, for this game? No, yeah. So in this game, you just get your pilot name if you're a subscriber. The MechWarrior game is a little bit the Discord one is a little different. So it's because you're not part of that. Actually, no, wait, what? You are. Sprug. Oh, okay. Yeah, you count because you are part of the company, man.
Here it comes.
It should just be active players, but MechWarriors is a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
But make sure that you sign in on that Greybeard because you are part of it. Actually, I know what I should do. I know exactly what I should do. I don't often get to do this.
I copy.
But we're going to move over here. We're going to take aim and... Oh, damn it. I figured that might be the case, but I was hoping... I was hoping I had cluster rounds in this thing and I don't. Still waiting for the Sojourn to come out. YouTube is made still show in the works. You mean the Space Dock project? I thought that already came out and I just have missed it. We should have a group viewing. You know, they keep sending me emails. Ooh, you hit that, but it all went to the armor. They keep sending me emails
My
from
armor
Twitch
keeps
about
off.
this new feature where I can like watch movies with people using my Amazon stuff these days.
Receiving.
Maybe at some point I'll do that, but I suppose we could have like an Astartes viewing party, but I kind of get the feeling that might go down poorly with the people who actually made the show.
Copy that.
Yes, they have bits, not episodes. Ah, okay. Alright, where is Greybeard? Greybeard, go punch him. Because you deal more damage in melee than you do in any other way. Surprise! There you go, I've managed to... You hit his head! Nice! We're not going to be able to, you know, capitalize on that, but you did manage to hit his head. Although, that is yet another headshot that this company seems to be going for. You guys are savages. Every single one of you. Okay, I'm gonna just get behind you and see if I can't panic you a little bit. Because I just want you out of the mech. So that I can steal it. Theft is preferable. Ooh, engine crit.
Nice. Got
And he's
that
panicked,
armor.
okay. Loving to see the panic.
I'm on the clock.
I don't know why
What
I'm
do you
wasting my
want?
time, though, if I'm completely honest, because it doesn't matter in the end. Unfortunately, the, no, we just don't have a shot on him. Unfortunately, we're only getting 2 of 9 priority salvage. Sorry, it's not a show, it's just a total of 10 minutes of cinematic. That's what I heard. Okay. All background and lore info at the point. Ah, okay, for the show, yeah. I mean, it looks reasonably interesting, although I don't fully agree with all of Space Doc's ideas about what they think about sci-fi warships, although they do have a decent number of them. His starship classification thing, though, made me angry. Of course, the game won't give me the one piece of the Atlas I need just because the game balanced to a newbie. No, you can't have that. It's too much. Aha! Oh, okay, you structure exposed me, you dick.
My internals are taking a beating.
I'm gonna beat
Standing
you
by.
into the ground now, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Fly! Yes, you can
Jumping.
fly that far. Improved jump test. The way he kept trying to
Giving
describe
another
them
tough
was
shot.
if there was certain hard and fast rules where he was trying to describe naval ships
Miss.
poorly and applying them to starships. Like his description of destroyer just made me facepalm pretty hard. So
Standing by.
it wasn't anything serious. By angry, I mean like grognard angry, like not anything serious or about anything serious. So no worries on that. 13 minutes 46 seconds in total. That's all the clips. Really? I'll have to check it out when I get to time. Where's Greybeard? Greybeard, punch him in the face again. If you do that, I'll give you a bonus. If you do that, I'll give you a lamb. You didn't do it, so I don't gotta give you a lamb. You did make him eject, though, so I should give you something nice. That was good. Greybeard, you don't have to drive the spider anymore. I'm giving you something better. I don't know what, but I'm giving you something better. As someone trying to describe fleet roles and classifications with no knowledge of said classifications. There you go. That's pretty much exactly how it is. And to be fair, I am not any sort of genius. I am no Drachenfeld, but I do have some understanding. Not angry, just disappointed. A little bit more of active disappointment, but yeah, I suppose that could work. It was just minor stuff, though. And I'm a grognard, so I get angry about everything. Let's see, did the Jenner actually take any damage? Oh, 5 points of damage. Jenner's going to be out for a day. Commando's going to be out for at least a week. Maybe shorter than that. Everybody else came out pretty decently. So I have a random clan mech sitting around now. Ooh, that's an ERPPC, and that's why we stole him. And an XL engine. Well worth it. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take every last one of it. Hello, Marby, I know the types of ships too. Oh wow, 1, 2, 3, 4 parts to that cicada. Are you kidding me? I love it. I just love it so much. I was a Grognard before the turn came out. Grognard really is a negative turn, so. This was a beautiful mission. This was a gorgeous mission. I'm so happy about it. Who are we going on? So there's a channel called Space Doc, which does these really great breakdowns of various sci-fi things. And he had an episode where he like tried to describe how ship classifications should be done, and he tried to base it on real world things, but he didn't actually understand what he was talking about, and so it came out as kind of weird. All right, see you around, Vanguard. Thank you for chilling with us and having a good time. Hello, Synapses. Haven't seen you in a while. Now let's try that other mission again. I withdrew from that mission, so it was gone. And I'm not touching that mission ever again. So, I will be moving in. There's one more mission that we can take. I believe it's a destroy base, which we should be able to get through. If I have one cicada part, I can build that cicada. Please have a cicada. Oh my god, I'm praying for a cicada part. Worth it though. But yeah, that's the full on PVC. If I can have a second one. That machine goes into the man of the people pile, pretty much. See me and Sprog agree on something. I mean, he does well on technical stuff. Yeah. How would you classify Starship? It's complicated. How would I do it? Personally, I would lean on Honor Harrington quite a bit, but then again, Honor Harrington just leans on semi-real world roles quite a bit, because in Honor Harrington, dreadnoughts are more powerful than battleships, and it gets weird on that, and it shouldn't, but probably scrap 36 birds. Let's go find out. Maybe I'm lucky. Maybe why would I be lucky in the barracks? No, I'm not looking to get lucky in the barracks. No, not happening. But am I the luckiest son of a bitch possible for the storage? No, not quite. However, this gives us some really nice stuff. So first things first, I've got to patch up the generator. This will take like 2 seconds. So repair that. Nice and done. Oh, remember our plan to turn this into something amazing, and then it turned out we couldn't for various reasons about, crossing over stuff. See you around, Rogue. Thank you for being with us. Speaking of hull types are credited to fulfill certain roles to said fleet's combat doctrine. Yeah. I want to try this again. Honor Harrington. A rather phenomenal set of science fiction novels that does not receive nearly as much credit as it deserves. There's nothing on this, right? What was I going to do to this again? Oh, right, I was going to do something with just a whole bunch of energy weapons, but then it turns out that it has nothing but support hardpoints, and so I couldn't turn this into a Jenner 7D, because it didn't have any energy hardpoints. Right. So what can I do with you? I think we're just on the lookout for a coil weapon. Coils would be pretty nice. However, finding that is going to take us a little while, so I'm going to put you in the storage. The reason I'm doing that is so that I've got room should we randomly happen to roll up a extra battle mech. However, the commando does require a little bit of full-on repair work now, which is a bit unfortunate, but we'll get it done. Honor Harrington is a great series of books. All how they might six-legged. That a castle will murder you for salary and can put a frisbee through hull plating. Yeah. Let's see, 1, 2. Okay, 2. I only need 2. That's a jump jet. I have no heat sinks. I have literally no heat sinks. What? Okay. Let's put this thing back together and then we'll, put heat sinks on it. That's tempting. That's really tempting. It would be a significant increase in firepower. At the same time, you can't fit the SRM into that, and I don't have a smaller SRM to work with. I'll just go with a patch job for now, and then I'll mess around with fixing it in 4 days, and hopefully we'll have more gear. This does mean the 4 mech mission, but that's not the worst thing in the world. We can handle it. Quick check of the hiring hall. See if they've got any butts. They do not. Nobody's interested in working for me. I feel somewhat insulted. Yeah, the later books of the Honor Harrington series become terrible, but the early ones are really good. A quick check of the barracks, make sure that everybody is leveled up as they needeth to be.
Receiving you.
Bullet trap, I'm not going to keep you, sorry. It's just not going to happen.
I'm on the clock.
Stadio, you've been
What do you
injured.
want?
There's nothing we can do about it. We're going to have to amputate. Okay. 14 novels and 15 spin-offs. Were there really that many spin-offs? Wow. Shadow of Saganami, and that's about it. Because there's like an entire series based on Shadow of Saganami, aren't there? Who are we grabbing? We are grabbing Greybeard. Of course we're grabbing Greybeard. Sorry, Mecha1164. I don't see your name in chat very often. Well, not today anyway. And so I have not noticed. We will get ourselves underway and hopefully successfully annihilate all the targets. Going with a slightly smaller engagement. Quite partial to the EVE Online classification system for starships. Yeah. If the link gives a list of. I shall at some point. Yeah. I really can't mention the point in which I think it kind of all goes south without mentioning important character moments. And I'm safe from combat once again. Do I need to grab Otto and forcibly shove him into a mech? Is Otto even in the company right now? I don't think he is. You used to be. Unfortunately, you were removed for various reasons. Mainly because we restarted the game, and so you were no longer there. So, maybe. After this mission, we'll have to do a little bit of traveling, which we'll find another planet where we can continue to, slowly but surely accrue more stuff. And then we will attempt to poke back into clan space and see what we can actually get done. Although low-level clan battling is going to be a nightmare, so hopefully our pilot skills will be up to the challenge. I'm going to have to check it out. Would help me with my own ship making in stories. The Outer Harrington books go with the double-ended spindle approach of starships. Basically, it tries to be incredibly realistic. There are some mathematical errors that occur, although I think revised versions of the book did go out afterwards. That's my Cat O' Nine Tails as well? Yep, Cat O' Nine Tails went away, sadly. It was so short-lived, but then, Bloody came out with the clan update, so we kind of had to move to that. But the way that Outer Harrington does it is there's frigates, there's corvettes too. Frigates are incredibly rare. They're generally inter-system, and the smallest extras, like multiple starship system travel vessel, is a destroyer. Then there's light cruisers, and then heavy cruisers, and then battle cruisers, and battleships, then dreadnoughts, then super dreadnoughts. Obviously, frigates they're not common in this universe at all. What they end up doing is, like I said, they're small inter-system combat vessels, which tend to be a little bit overgunned for their size, purely because they don't need the faster-than-light travel systems on board. Peeking the wedge is still kind of mad. Peeking the wedge? You mean just turning the wedge head on to block all damage because you basically get to cheat? Oh, this is a base. We started on top of the target? Is that? Huh. Okay, we are apparently on top of the base, so everybody look alive. Target marked. That's going to be unfortunate. Destroying. Yeah, it looks like we're... Oh god, there's turrets. That's a lot of autocannon twos that are going to be rather accurate on top of us. There's a pack rat support vehicle with an SRM-6 and a flamer, not all that worried about. Vedettes are vedettes, and this one's an AC-2 one, so it's even less of an interesting vedette. The light laser turret is ignorable, more or less. Is there anything else that I really care about? Somebody's having a hard time making up his mind. Oh, because he's a fast vehicle. He's going to try and light fire to us and fail. No, he actually very much succeeded. Oh, what's this last vehicle? Wheeled APC with a machine gun array, which is like 4 machine guns. So,
I'm on the clock.
Neutron. Oh, there's even more. I did not pay attention enough. I got a goblin, large laser, of course, and another turret up here, which is a quad light turret, is medium lasers. Right. In any scenario, the propulsion systems are priority. Priority to destroying mobility and making the ship a sitting duck. Yep. I think we got hit with danger close. Huh? Because their drive field or wedge just nullifies damage from certain angles. Yeah, top and bottom, for those of you who haven't read the books. So the way the drive system works is you have your ship, and I will use a flashlight. Haha, I have a flashlight here. You have your ship. Your ship is shaped very much like this flashlight, actually. And above your ship and below your ship, there is the wedge, which is basically a wall of gravity particles, or something similar to that. It's a gravity field or gravity waves. And the wedge is angled like this. Yes. Where there's a choppy mouth, I'll do it like that. Wedge is angled like this, so that the larger opens part is towards the front and the smaller open part is towards your back. In between the wedge on your port and starboard side, you can put up what are called sidewalls, which are weaker gravity fields, which can block incoming damage and attenuate various energy weapons that are fired your way. And so, at the top and bottom, you're basically invulnerable. On your left and right, you can be punched through, and at your front and your back, you're totally vulnerable to incoming damage, which is why the ships are described as double-ended spindles, because at the front and the back, there are these giant armored bricks that contain, forward and aft firing weaponry in order to hopefully mitigate the incoming damage. If they ever cross your T, though, you're pretty much done. So, what basic battle tactic comes with is you fly with your wedge towards the enemy, and you flip, you shoot, you turn, you shoot, you turn, and you just back and forth on that. The problem is you can't see through the wedge, and you can't shoot through the wedge, and you can't really control anything through the wedge. So, and if two wedges collide, it's just a giant explosion. So, buster collector type ship? Gravitons might not be the best way to describe it. It's an energy, it's a gravity field. Just tuned into Harrington ship talk. A little bit. We were talking a little bit about the system and just brought up how the propulsion actually works. Alright, so you die first because you're the most dangerous.
Alright.
Yes, hello, Reldex. Later on, they will invent the bow sidewall, which, you know, is just a little bit weird in describing things, and it ruins a good part of the way that actual battle works. Like, void shield's more powerful than void shields. You can't punch through a wedge. It is literally impossible to shoot through the wedge. Oh good, the assassin has its back now open. That's lovely.
Reporting. Major armor
The
loss.
sidewalls are more like the void shields though, because you can overload a sidewall. Somehow no one has figured out how to make a missile system with wedge generation. Wait, what do you mean? They do. How many streams are we into this campaign? This is our second successful stream on this campaign. We tried last week and ran into a problem. We ran into the same problem, however, we found out that if we just changed missions, it worked flawlessly. So, we're having a great time. How much damage can you do? Nothing at all. So I'm going to ignore you. So this medium laser turret, not this one, but the one up here is somewhat dangerous. But the range is long, so I'm not all that worried. I don't want to have the spider sit still, though. So I will rush you over here, because that will prevent me from having to put my back to anybody. And the S-16 is dangerous, but the bow shields prevent propulsion, so they are... Well, no, they only prevent... So the bow sidewall only prevents propulsion a little bit. The initial reason why you can't wall off the bow and the stern is because that blocks any sort of movement. However, later on in the series, they will invent sort of a mini bow sidewall that won't actually cover the entirety of the opening. It slows you down some, but you can still have it up to defend yourself. All the blessed vanilla launch bug on random missions. It was just super glitchy and slow.
Yeah.
So... I could have the Jenner go over and stomp something. It's always tempting to go after the Vedette, but the Vedette is not all that dangerous at all. Ooh, you're not quite as fast as I thought you'd be. Alright, I will go after the machine gun turret. Just to make sure. Hello, little turret. Goodbye, little turret.
Copy that.
There we go, popped. Nice and easy.
Target destroyed.
I think this... What, oh God, what is the name of the ship from the Shadow of Saganami? It's not the Fearless, and I don't think it's the Saganami. It might be the Saganami, though. And that has the experimental bow sidewall. So... yeah.
Commander?
Trying to figure out exactly how I want to get you out of here. Because I don't want him to have an APC sort of come up behind him and just start eliminating him from the entire game. That would obviously be a little bit bad. And he doesn't really do that much damage. This assassin needs a desperate refit. He has no damage at all on him. And it's a bit of a problem. Oh, can I get here? I can. And not only can I... oh,
copy.
God darn it. I was in targeting mode, not movement mode. This may actually get you killed.
Copy.
Never mind, you killed it first, so you've got that taken care
One
of.
for the scrap heap.
Life is grand. Who's next? I imagine we're on 7? Or no, 6. Who's on 6? One of the turrets? No, they came on 8. Turrets are actually surprisingly high in the initiative. Just an FYI, you can cycle between units ready with tab.
Heavy damage to an enemy structure. Bring it down.
Jump jet destroyed. Damn it, I was hoping he wouldn't actually be behind me. Alrighty. Kid Fox. Kid Fox could just start opening fire on that goblin. The goblin is probably the next most dangerous thing in the field. So if I can just sort of rapid fire all of my guns into it, we might be able to eliminate it from the equation. Hello. Goodbye.
One attitude adjustment coming right up.
What is the purple? Internal combustion engine grid. Sounds like I need to read the
Who needed
last book or
salvage
two then.
anyways?
What, for the bow side? Well, I think that's Shadow of Saganami, which is one of the spin-offs. Let me hit their building for you. Yep. It's so nice when the enemy decides to actually work with me instead of against me. Jenner, do you not have the... You don't have the range to step on the vedette. Disappointing. You may actually have the range to knock out another turret, which would be a little bit ideal. I am annoyed, though, that the assassin has gotten an armor penetration. That'll cook you a little bit. Also, the accuracy is not the most amazing thing in the world. That, on the other hand, is rather dangerous. In fact, I'm going to precision strike it, just to make sure that I hit it as hard as I possibly can. Hi, goodbye. Accurate precision fire with multiple heavy weapons.
That turret is gone.
That's why turrets suck. But a couple of years. Yeah, I think I'm like 2 books behind by now at this point. I couldn't read anymore. Because it got to a point where it was so ridiculous that there was no stakes at all. Like, it just didn't matter anymore. Manticore was going to win against no matter what. So if there's going to be no challenge to the stakes, no, like, sense of danger, then what's the point? This is actually a similar problem that they ran into with the Safehold series. Because the Safehold series is just trash. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be that harsh to it. It's actually written fairly well, but if your good guys are going to be able to plow through literally anything, then there's no tension. And if there's no tension, then there's no real interest in reading it. So he's gotten a little bit bad on that. But yeah, the Stark and Manticore just became ridiculous. I couldn't root for the good guys anymore because the good guys were so decidedly annihilating people who weren't necessarily evil that it felt like, what am I even doing here? Like, that's actually one of the sort of tragedies of when you write so well that both factions seem kind of reasonable. I enjoy the Safehold series, but yes. Yeah. It's like, and then they ran up against all the armies in the world. And then they triumphed because everybody else was dumb. No thank you. Also because they had the technology. Which, I'll grant you, technology, awesome, very cool. There are certain numerical superiorities that are not so easily taken care of. He's got 1 health point left on that light laser turret. Battle of the Stars seems like a good series, but I've only gotten through book 3. Not familiar with the series. But there is good sci-fi out there. You just have to find it. Oh, eventually. The Starship Mage series is quite a favorite of mine. Mixes sci-fi and fantasy quite seamlessly. Oh, cool. My favorite science fiction is the Vorkosigan books. Those are just written so well. I adore them. So, let's see. Who needs to die? I do need to take a turret out before, it snipes one of my players. So let's go see if we can't save everybody. I understand the lack of drama issue. I read E.E. Smith's the Lensman series. Is it another case of where, like, the good guys literally can't lose? And how did the evil empire ever become the evil empire if there is literally no way for them to ever actually defeat the good guys? Iron Druid is another good one. Nice. See, we're all just sharing great science fiction books.
What do you want?
This is the way a community should be. You are in clan mech, so stepping on things is not exactly your forte, but it is a vedette. Although that's a decent amount of health. Alright, we'll shoot at you. If you insist, I'll put multiple autocannon rounds on India. That'll make you feel better.
Alright, let's get
Hard to put
down
attention to a
to
book
it.
when the hero is basically Phoenix/Superman by the end of the first book. There's ways to do it. You just gotta be a really good writer, which is one of the reasons why Superman movies
One attitude adjustment
are hard to do
coming right
properly.
up.
Oh, that's what the purple is. It's our small laser.
Well, who needed salvage anyways?
I was kind of hoping that you would kill it, so I didn't have to have Rando go and, murder it with his weapon systems. Rando was supposed to be taking care of all of his own, but no, now he's got to do even more work. Shut off the medium laser, shut off the medium laser. If you get around to it. There you go. Of course. Should have gotten around to the side. And popped.
Kill
Okay,
confirmed,
so
Commander.
basically all of the enemies have been taken over. Lost Fleet is good sci-fi. Space combat seems more realistic than most of it. Yes, Lost Fleet is very good for trying to portray space combat much more realistically. In terms of it's a long amount of buildup, and then
Coordinates received.
one moment of action, and then a long drawn-out period of all the other things. I actually kind of prefer his
Target confirmed.
Stark series, because the guy who wrote the Lost Fleet also wrote the Sergeant Stark series, and I understand the Sergeant Stark series is not accurate by any stretch of the imagination, but
I'm on the clock.
I enjoyed
What
it
do you
immensely.
want? All right.
David
let's
Weber's
get down to
Starfire book series is great. I'll have to look into it. There's so much I have to look into. You guys are going to take up all of my time with books. Can I just have one?
it. Well, let's hope
Bring the whole
they
thing
have
down.
insurance.
This is when you miss artillery, when you just want to annihilate the entire base. Haven't read that one. Lost Fleet was great. There's nothing wrong with guilty pleasures occasionally. I have been told by someone that the Sergeant Stark book is insultingly bad about its depiction of the military. Which it is, but it's still pretty good. It has like 8 books in it. Oh, cool.
What do you need?
Is it something that he's actively writing now, or is it some like older work of his?
Location confirmed.
Hit your endo, just flatten the tower block.
Firing on target.
That'll work.
Good shot, Commander. Enemy
Consumed a ton of
structure down.
audiobooks while I worked in furniture factories. Yeah, that's how I ended up reading the Vorkosigan books. Was I would just put them on my MP3 player while I worked while I still worked out in the shop before I got my promotion to doing inspection. Rather phenomenal narrator for them. Keep firing. You'll flatten something eventually, right? Medium lasers being nerfed so badly is so annoying to me.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
I want you to knock over the rest of the little village.
Well, let's hope they have insurance.
Okay, one more building left. Looks like it's still
Boy,
going
I
on.
should
The
call
book
it
was
a
released in
field trip.
2018.
Looks
Oh,
like the
interesting.
market just opened up.
The Society books? People keep telling me about that I have to read the Society books. I have no idea what they're about. But everyone's like, no, you'll love them. Like, will I? Will I get it? Know what I'm talking about?
Time to bug out. Get to the LZ for extraction.
Yeah, we are done with this mission. Very nicely done. So, successfully done there. Unfortunately, no cicadas for us to go after. Really good and confusing as hell. So I get a laptop on my day. I love audiobooks and listening to Lost Fleet again right now. I am incredibly particular about narrators when it comes to audiobooks. There is a very, very small number of people that I actually like with my narrators. There was actually this, there was a book series, I think it's like After America or something. It's a series where suddenly, for no apparent reason, most of the United States is just, all the people are dead and gone from it. And the people from Oregon, and that's about it, have to like come back together and recontrol the entirety of the planet. And the narrator for that is so tragically awful. And the book series is pretty bad too. And it's just so good. Who is the ejection? There wasn't even a battle back on the field. John Ringo even wrote a trilogy in honor of the main author. Oh, interesting. Take a read on Monster Hunter International? Alright, so there's a new laser that I can use for my commando. No heat sinks though, so I'll grab the core. Grab a core out of that. So AoE AC2. So it deals 12 damage to the normal target and to primary and secondary targets, and 2 area of effect stability damage to units within the radius. Interesting. But I don't see myself ever using it. So. Not a bad pickup for leaving. This will allow us to fix most of our commando. I do need some heat sinks. So I'll buy a couple of those so we can fully patch up the commando while we're in transit. I still enjoy Destroyer Man. I had the honor of knowing W.M.R. Forstish, a historical/alternate history fiction writer who had a famous co-author. Nice! Monsters are real, and there are bounties on them and an entire government agency in charge of it, and basically Merc companies hundreds of years old who hunt down said monsters. Something awesome. Well, I can imagine so. That there. Alright, so we're going to put a cut in here for the YouTube people. That way they can get a little bit of shut-eye, and I won't keep them up too late. Although these go out at 12 o'clock. I may be changing that to 10 a.m. Just purely based on the fact that the Bannerlord stuff releases part of the way through the day. In fact, our most recent Bannerlord episode should have gone up now, and if not, then it got broken. But yeah, to the YouTube people, thank you very much for watching. I have been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every single time we'll see these videos, press that little bell icon. Leave a comment, especially just audio quality, visual quality, things like that I can help improve on. Somebody actually left a great comment on the episode 1 video mentioning some of the problems right now with our mic that we are seeking to address as best as we can. So any comments on that sort of thing, always appreciated. And I will see you all in the next episode.